Hi there, welcome to the Scholar of Life. Okay, that wasn't me. Okay, let me do me. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Scholar of Life. So first, from woman to woman, I just wanna, I don't know, it fascinates me that we have this. I was actually asking my friend, one of my very close friends, that is it Women's Month today? I'm not so sure. Because I kept on thinking about women in general. Like, I don't get it. Like, we celebrate Women's Month and big ups to those women that are genuinely there for one another. You know what I'm saying? But then there's also the other woman that I just don't get, you know? And it fascinates me about what we call ourselves. You know, we want to be in a group and stand for woman power, but are we truly, genuinely there for one another? I'll tell you why. I have a lot of groups. Thank you to all that women, the woman that's really stood by me, and there are a lot of them. But then, because I am around a lot of women, I tend to hear what women say about one another and how they bring each other down. And it just really fascinates me. It really does. You know, I have succeeded mostly in my life, thanks to my family. You know, I've also had people say things like, "Oh, you probably have what you have because of your white husband." How are you gonna degrade yourself like that? You know what I'm saying? How are you gonna? Oh, you probably have what you have because of. It's just. And I'm thinking, no, I have what I have because of a thing called agape love. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of blessings that I've had was from women that genuinely love me because I approached them with love. And I'm telling you, and why I'm bringing this up is because many times, had I believed what another human, because I am, I am a sensitive human being, very sensitive. And had I believed what other people said about who I am as a woman, a lot of women become crushed because of that, because of the competition. So as long as you know what your identity is, I don't know why I had to bring this up. This is a Scholar of Life, okay? I've said it many times before. If you think this is a place where we have all the answers, we don't. This is a space where we have agape love, where we're trying to learn about one another. And, you know, it just fascinates me. But anyway, that's another subject on its own. I'm excited now. I hope you got what I was trying to say. That try this whole agape love, woman, like woman to woman. Share that love, you will see that it's very fruitful. Like, I've really achieved and I've made it. I smile because there's a lot of women that's always had my back. Big ups to you. So let's just stop this weirdness. It freaks me out. I thought I'd bring it out. Like, don't be weird, man. Just genuinely love one another, right? Peace. Anyway, I'm excited. I have my friend up in the show. Like, I don't like to call it a show. It's a platform. It's not a show, this thing. It's a platform. I'm excited, man. Big up to my husband for always having my back with this. Me and my husband had a little bit of a fight before this. And I was like, how am I going to now act normal? Because I'm mad now. How am I going to, because I don't know how to pretend. So, and Michelle made a joke with like some spiders. And quick, just like that, I was happy again. So, yeah, thank you, Lord. So we're about to do this thing. Michelle, you ready? Welcome to the Scholar of Life. Hey, Michelle.
Hi, Happy.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
You look pretty.
Thank you.
You look very pretty.
You look pretty dope.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Pretty and dope.
Pretty and dope, yeah.
Do you get complicates? Okay. Do you get complimented quite a lot about your outer appearance?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah. But that's not what's the most important to me. It's like,
Really?
yeah, what's happening here?
You think so?
Yeah. If you can tell me that what's going on in here is good, then I'm good with what's going on out here. And I actually genuinely believe that what you see here is what's going on in here. So I went through a pretty rough patch a little while ago, and I started to see my skin started to look like ash, and I started to look like old.
Like ash or ash?
Like dead.
Like ash?
Yeah, like
ash. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I realized that what's happening here is always a reflection of what's happening inside.
You think so?
Yeah. Or you get those people who have nice faces but not nice hearts. And then what was that saying? That says congratulations on the face, but that's all it really is. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. My husband's laughing. Okay. Yeah, appearances for me is quite intriguing. Have you noticed how people will either befriend you and how you look on the outside?
Yeah.
Have you noticed?
Yeah.
That's some weird stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't know anything about the other person, but because you're wearing the right shoes or whatever, then it's their approach is completely different.
Why do you think we became friends? Do you remember?
Yeah.
What
And
do
I
you
don't
think
think
we
it's got
became
anything.
friends?
I think it might have a little bit to do with the appearance, but the appearance that came from like the stuff inside, because your soul sort of matches my soul. And I think when I met you, I was in a place where I was trying to fit into a box that maybe wasn't mine to fit into. And you could see that. And you kept saying to me, like, come out. It's okay for you to come out.
Really?
Be yourself.
Do you remember
Yes.
that?
I remember it. My tattoos were always hidden. And you would spot them. And you would call them out. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh, you're going to make me cry. Do you know why? Because I love my mom to bits, and I'm going to talk about religion versus relationship with God, right? So my mom's very conservative and old school, but this is not just my mom. It's also the older generation, but even people now, right? So I'm also, like, I've got tattoos all over, right? I don't hide my tattoos, right? And I said to my mom once, she's like, you're not going to, like, cover up? And I said, Mom, if I had to, you need to understand who Jesus hung around with.
Come on.
Jesus didn't hang around with like the most perfect people.
No.
He hung around with like thugs.
Yeah.
He hung around, like if you look at his story.
Yeah.
And I said, if I didn't have people like me walk into church, obviously you're going to know that she's got a story to tell and that's where she's from. By me hiding, I'm hiding what God has done for me and I'm hiding this testimony.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how we were both thinking differently, that you thought, oh man, I loved you, man, the first time I saw you. And I like you said, our souls connected. And then it's amazing how you thought, you know, you need to hide the shame. Are we going to call it shame?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Well, what made you get out of that space?
I think a break of, exactly like you said, it's not religion, it's relationship.
When did you get that? That it's not religion?
I think I thought it wasn't the whole time, because I had such a big testimony and I'd come from
There's water
such
there.
Thank you, my throat's scratchy.
You're coughing, bro.
It's not the bed.
Cover.
It's amazing how soon as you're talking in front of a camera or on stage, your throat scratches.
No, you're doing
Hard.
so well, man. I'm like just happy feet right here.
I love that movie. Anyway, have you seen that movie?
Happy feet.
Yeah.
Duh.
Okay, I'm going to recover any second now.
No problem.
Okay, when did I reach the place of religion? Okay, so the whole time I thought I had reached that place. I thought, because I was brought up religiously, like if you didn't follow these rules, you were going to go to hell, and that was it. That was where you would spend eternity, and it was hardcore. And so many of my family members were going to hell because of their behavior. I was going to hell. So like I'd accepted this thing, and I couldn't conform to this religion. But Jesus saved me. And it wasn't a religion. It was a relationship, and it was real. Because he showed himself in the stars. And that's how I came to know God for the first time. Because I said, if you're real, just show me your love. And a shooting star flew across the sky. And it was like a comet, because it had like a tail and everything. And I realized in that moment that he sent me exactly what I needed. It wasn't too much. It was just enough. And I knew he was real. So my whole relationship with him, I thought I wasn't operating in religion. I was operating in relationship. But I was consistently striving. Almost like I was trying to make up for everything that I had done.
Wow.
Like I was trying to pay God back. Like, I'm so sorry. I was so bad. Let me be good for you now. Let me be overly good. Let me hide anything that I've carried with me.
Wow.
And perform. And somebody actually came to me one day and said, that's enough. That's enough now. You've paid God back. If that's what you felt you needed to do. Now can you please be you? And that was when things started to shift for me a little bit. In that same space I had met you in, I started to shift because I was like, hang on, there's a lot more to me than this. And God's just done miracle after miracle after miracle in me, allowing me to become myself.
That is so cool, man. When did you have an encounter with God, like proper? From a broken place, or like, how was your childhood like? Was it the picket fence?
You see, it kind of looked like that a lot of the time, but it was pretty rough for me. Like it was a difficult childhood. We moved around a lot. I had a lot of abuse. It was really challenging in very different sort of ways consistently. And my mom and I often speak about it to today, and she says to me, but like, you never knew a home. You never knew these things, like certain things, and she'll speak about it still, and I realized that I didn't grow up with that. Like I didn't see God in a father figure. I didn't see God in my house. I didn't know what a godly father figure looked like. I knew what religion looked like. So my encounter with God was never growing up. It was only later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Abuse? What kind of abuse?
Pretty much every kind of abuse you get. Yeah. Definitely would struggle to answer that with that there.
Wow. Wow. I get it. I'm so proud of you, girl. That's why we get along. I'm so proud of you. You know what it is about mental health? Like people just don't understand, right? Is that mental health is huge. But it all has to do with a lot of trauma. And I'm going to respect the fact that you said you're going to struggle, because I'm so going to respect you. But why, after you said that, I said I'm so proud of how far you've come, because every day is a challenge, especially if you come from some form of abuse.
Yeah.
You know? I think I'm at the place where a lot of people know that I was sexually molested when I was a lot younger. Whether they know, whether they don't, that's my story. I'm 40 years old. Until today, my husband, my children, they have to bear witness of the aftermath of the damage that's happened to me when I was a lot younger. So, without you getting into detail of what form of abuse are you getting into, I just want you to, in a victorious way, explain to us, like, you know, now you look pretty, man. It doesn't look like you had it hard, girl. You know what I'm saying? How do you make it on a daily basis with all the moods, with all the pain, how do you wake up and say, you know what, today I'm going to make it work?
Can I tell you that I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm free? I'm free of those things that happened to me. Like I walk in a different way now. Yes, sometimes like things come up and memories happen, and I also just came out of a pretty challenging situation over the past year, and everything leaves its mark. It does. It's like
so good.
Little handprints on your body. But the biggest and most important one is every time I'm happy, every time if I go to God with it and I lay it down, it changes. But if I carry it with me, then it's mine. And I think I'm in a place where I've been seeking God in a different way, where I sit with Him quietly at 12 o'clock at night and I speak to Him. And I read books, and I just like I ask Him to speak to me, and I ask Him to change me, mold me, make me the person that you intended all along. But you know what I realized also is that prayer is lank dangerous, because
prayers do what?
Prayer is lank dangerous.
Yeah. Okay.
Because be careful what you pray for, because you actually just might
for
get
sure.
it.
Oh, please say that again.
Be careful what you pray for, because you actually just might get it, and that's it. Like I remember, I think it was 2013. I said to God, "Awake my soul." The next 3-4 years of my life were the hardest years of my life. I went into the pit of addiction. I struggled. It was dark. I thought I was living my best life. I had no idea. It was wild. I came out on the other side, and I realized I had to go through that for my soul to wake up to what was going on in the world. And every time I pray something like that, I have to go through a valley before I come out the other side victorious, because that's actually my word for the year, victorious above these things. But when we come out the other side of this valley, we're like, I see why. You need to use this for this. My test is like now my testimony. And you want to use it.
Yes.
So I'll go through it with you, God, as long as you get the glory.
Oh, oh man, this is so good, Michelle. How are you feeling?
I get very passionate.
How are you feeling?
Very like fired up because I realize happy that like after this last challenge I went through over the past year, I said to God, I said, flip man, I said, surely my testimony is big enough now. Like that's enough. I'm done. Use it now.
Wow.
But I get excited because I know, like, if people could just know him.
Yeah, can you say that again, man?
Just know him. Just can't, like, if we could share the story, like, legit. Like, one of the churches that I know, they do a foundation that goes and plays soccer with kids in informal settlements and leads them to God and stuff. And with the intent of keeping them out of crime, keeping them out off drugs. Like, there's a pre-plan. And I realize that Jesus is our only plan. He's our only plan. When people know him, we walk different. We talk different. We don't respond to the world the way the world treats us.
Yeah.
And that's the only way it's going to get better.
Wow. Wow. This was so good. Guys, come on. Hand of applause. This was so good, girl. Oh, you giving me, like, I know, like, my confidence is in Christ, but you making me, like, more confident because
Love
people
that.
like us, I'm sorry, I know I come across as hardcore, but this hardcore person is so fragile and timid.
That's exactly it.
And timid, but you know what? The fact that I know that God is the father to the fatherless, you know, my
Yeah,
confidence,
come
I'll
on.
promise you, it's solid. My confidence is the fact that I know who God is
Yeah,
in our lives.
yeah.
And if a lot of people can read scripture and just understand who God is, I know some people have been messed up through religion and church and everything like that. Man, this was so good. Do you go into like hectic isolation?
Like,
Like withdrawal?
honestly, I try. Eh? Sometimes I do just want to be by myself. But my family currently don't quite allow it. They just step right in there. They drop off my nieces, my nephews. They're like, oh, have a
okay,
great
so you're
time.
quite busy.
Then it like forces me out. But I do sometimes just want to withdraw and just be by myself.
But is it a good thing or a bad thing to get into that space?
I think
quiet
it can be
space?
both. I think
Yeah,
initially it
yeah.
can be good, but then I can get stuck. It's even like coming out of lockdown. Like, I'm more afraid of people than I ever have been. Like, I
What do you
walk out
mean?
and I'm almost like I'm friendly and I'm myself,
Yeah.
but to a point.
Yeah.
Then I'm like,
Yeah.
and it's almost like this isolation time of COVID has made me lose a lot of connection, because I'm not reaching out the way I would. I'm not
Yeah.
responding the way I would. I'm like, short answers. How are you? Fine, thank you.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
very.
What do you think that's all about?
I think it's about that, like, getting used to being
On your own?
on my own.
Yeah, I think
isolated.
a lot of people are getting like
yes.
that.
And I think that's actually one of the dangers with this lockdown.
Yeah.
Well, with this pandemic,
Yeah.
is that we're becoming more isolated.
Yeah.
And I think that God always intended for us to be connected with one another.
Mm.
So man is not good alone.
Yeah. I'm so glad you're saying that because, you know, growing up, I've always been like the center of attention. Oh, you just wait till Happy gets here, bro. It's going to be happening. But I guess all of that had to do with drugs plus and whatever. Naturally, I'm a happy person.
Yeah.
I mean, my name is Happy, for crying out loud.
There we go.
But they always say the most people that go through like some dark stuff, I mean, comedians, if you look at them, you know, they have like a lot of sort of melancholy going on
Yeah.
down there. But I have gone very, what's that word, man? I just used it now. Solitude. What's it called?
Isolation.
Isolation. I have sunk into a deep one where if I do, like, let's say somebody comes to my house, then it's very difficult for me to get out of it, especially with a lot of people that are spiritual. I know it's very weird for me to explain this. I don't know if you get that like that a lot, because my mind, I'm always thinking, I'm always on the spiritual realm.
Yes. And then you're far more sensitive
Yes.
to people. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. That's exactly how I've
Yeah.
been feeling as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking, but Happy, this is a time where people are really broken and timid, And with your gift, you know, just see how you can reach out like that. So I think I also need to snap out of this isolation. And if I'm going to use it to good use. Spend time with God. Don't just daydream.
Yeah.
I've noticed I've become a dreamer a lot, a daydreamer, you know? So, man, this is good. I love you so much, girl. Oh, you're such a soldier. See you doing kickboxing.
Yes, I love it. Oh, I love it so much.
Let's fight now. Let's fight. I'm a street fighter, homie. Your high kicks are on levels.
I love it.
Wow, what's up? What's up with that?
I started Muay Thai when I was young, like when I was 17.
I saw the kicks. I saw those
and
kicks.
Then I started it because I had faced a trauma at 16. And I was like, I want to be able to protect myself. So that's why I started Muay Thai. I trained for like 4.5 years. I loved it. I fell in love with it. Then I stopped. When I prayed that prayer, Awake My Soul, went through the dark patch of my life, that's when I stopped Muay Thai. And I only started again a few months ago here.
Well done.
And I flipping, and the trainer that I got is a boss. Like he pushes me till I'm sick.
So cool.
But it's so good. Like he challenges me, and I grow, and I'm learning things I've never learned before. And it takes me out of my head.
Oh,
because
so cool,
you've got to
man.
listen.
Yeah.
So you're not only training your body, you're training your mind.
Yeah, that's very cool, that whole listening stuff. My husband also does that, but I'm more of like a street fighter, so it's very hard for me to like, okay, left, hook.
Yeah.
But anyway, in closing.
Right?
But okay, street fighter, okay. okay, happy, okay. Was. Now I'm very soft.
Yeah, you gentle. We would never fight. We could fight. Okay. Go cuddle on the couch and watch a movie.
In closing, my angel, what do you have to say for people out there? We love these people, man, guys. Come on. You just have to get us. We're all about agape love. What do you have to say for people out there in closing?
I say take a chance on Jesus.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like for you. And he's always listening. And he's the game changer. And literally, like, say what's true, like, on your heart. Say it to him. Just say it to him, and I promise you he'll show up. I promise you.
Salute. Thank you, sis. That was good. Mwah. Love you.
Love.